All right. Welcome back to another episode of Game Trail Pursuits podcast. My name is Joshua Likens and I am your host. So, today we're jumping right in. So, the episode of this title is it's called First Flight, okay? And First Flight is about the duck opener. All right. So, sorry. This episode has no script whatsoever. I'm just excited to even talk about this. Um, the first opener of Duck is October 5th, which is a Saturday. Yep. And I've already got the whole thing planned on how day one is going to go. So for me, day one or the day before day one, I'm actually going to camp at my spot. So I'm gonna go up Friday early morning. I'm going to scout, check out a couple places, see where the birds are feeding, see where they're resting, kind of see if I can find out their flight pattern. Um, and that's what I'm going to determine where I'm going to do my first hunt. So that night I'm gonna camp out, just kind of I might even throw my decoys so that they're already ready. But I'll cook up some dinner, just kind of hang out, just go to bed, wake up early, and then we're off right off the bat. So I kind of wanted to talk about how, like, the beginning of August, I okay, no, that's wrong. July, I purchased my very first truck. I've never had a truck, okay? So I bought my first truck from a guy, and I drove about an hour home and went to get it registered and titled and everything. Was doing it that day, right? And the engine blew. First truck, first day. I didn't even have that truck for 2 hours, and the engine blew. And so I've been very discouraged about that. And lucky for me, I have a buddy who he works on trucks, and we took a look, and basically I was gonna have to get a new engine. And I just spent, I only spent $1,500 on the truck. It explains a lot. But it was, I'd have to buy a new engine, and that was $300. So I just spent $1,500 on the truck. I didn't have any extra money to just throw towards a new engine. I've also never, installed an engine or even worked on a truck in my life. So I was kind of, pretty down about the whole situation. But uh he had he had a bunch of extra trucks just kind of laying around, and he was able to tell me if I could get one running, then I could just purchase that for $1,000. So, uh, it was kind of in between. Should I just fix this truck or should I just purchase a new truck? And I'll just be blind. Obviously I got the other truck and I am making payments on that, but that's besides the point. But anyway, I've got my second first truck, and I just got that at the beginning of August. So, we got it running. I need to put some new tires on it, but cleaned it up real nice, and it's ready for hunting season. And I got the truck because I know I'm going to be doing a lot of hunting. Like I I have a I have a Cadillac, right? That's the car that I have that I drive every single day. The last 2 years, that's what I was driving for hunting. And it's kind of weird, you know, part of the reason why I didn't do a lot of big game hunting because I had no way of transporting it. I don't want to get all, blood and hair and all that gross stuff in my car. So I've been looking for a truck for a long time now, and I finally got it. So here we are. I mean, I'm doing these little steps, and I'm very happy about it. And so you know, part of the beginning of this month, I had one of my mom's friends. her husband, he's also a big hunter, and he told me he had a small little trailer, a homemade enclosed trailer, and it was filled with a bunch of goose decoys. He told me that I could he told me that I could have it. He was just giving it to me. That was amazing, and I was very thankful, and I still am very thankful. So I went over to his place and put air in the tires because that trailer has sat for a long time. Actually, the last time that trailer was plated was 1999. So it had been, new tags, nothing on it for a long time. So uh I get there, put air in the tire, bring it to my house, or yeah, I brought it to my house, and then the next day brought it to my buddy's house, and I pulled out all of the decoys, and oh my gosh, they're all shells. Okay, there was like, I'd say probably 110 just regular, full size shells, and there was nine uh like extra large, like super big goose shells. They all have heads on them. The heads need to be repainted. But and then there was probably like 80 snow goose or snow geese decoys, and that was awesome. I mean, now I've upgraded so much from the last year that I, first went duck hunting. I started out obviously with nothing. I've got, man, I probably have like six different, duck calls. I've got two goose calls, and I had, my nine or my 10 goose decoys and my 12 mallard and hens. And now I've upgraded. I've got a truck, a trailer full of decoys. So that's amazing. So obviously goose is not the same time as duck, but that first opening day, I'm taking my truck and all my decoys, and except for the goose ones obviously. But I'm excited. I've been waiting for this since last year, and I have not been able to stop talking about it. Like I told you guys, this is my passion. I never thought, if I picked up hunting again, it would be duck hunting. And now that's all I want to do is duck hunt. So this year, my goal is to go out as much as I possibly can. And I'm gonna I'm planning on buying like a dehydrator, so I can make my own jerky. I do want to learn like different things you can cook with duck. So, I mean, I'll probably be ducked out at some point. I don't think so. But I'm gonna learn how to cook uh duck. I've really never cooked like wild game before, so this is really going to be like a first, because besides my first teal I tried cooking, I haven't really done much. And I'll be honest, my goose from last year is still in my freezer, but that's because my goal is to get at least a couple more geese this year just so I could do like a huge thing of jerky. And that's just because uh I want to try a bunch of different seasonings and stuff like that, because when you have an array of things to try, you can find what you love. And for me, if my thought process was if I cook this now and I only use one flavor, then it's going to be a lot more difficult to find out what, because then I got to wait till the next season, yada, a whole thing. So my goose is still in my freezer from last year. Both breasts, everything's great, right? So this year the goal is to get a couple more, go out with some of my buddies, do a bigger hunt, and hopefully get, enough geese to make a couple batches of jerky. I love jerky. And I've had some of my buddy's goose jerky and I love the flavor. I don't know what he had. It's been a while, but I know that that's something I like. So for me, it's, that's what I will do with goose. I don't know if there's other things you can cook with goose, if I'm being honest, but like I said, that's what I'm really looking forward to. Um, so yeah, I want to get a dehydrator so I can do jerky. I want to find recipes. I want to start like my own little cookbook for duck and goose. And who knows, maybe at some point in my, I'm gonna, in this hobby of mine, maybe I'll start, making my own flavors and, maybe start distributing that somehow. Like I don't know where this could take me. And like I've said before, I'm excited for this journey. Um, so those are a few things that are important to me. And so, as much as I can, I'm going to duck hunt and I'm going to keep you guys involved. I'm going to keep you guys, so you know what's going on as well. You guys are going to see the hunt. You're going to see how I prepare. You're going to see what I do afterwards. Like, you guys are going to be really involved, and I can't wait for you guys to see, and I can't wait for feedback as well. Like, that's something I'm excited about. Like, what do you guys like, what don't you like? So I'm excited, and I can't say that enough. I've probably said it a million times already, but yes, I am excited. um so I know waterfowl, they travel all over the place. So a lot of ducks that I've got here, y'all got wherever you're at. But so a lot of the species we have in Colorado, we've got gadwalls. Um, Honestly, I have never seen a gadwall. I've never seen any of my buddies get a gadwall, but we got mallards, tons and tons of mallards. Pintails. I actually been watching a bunch of like YouTube videos, but I heard that pintails gone down. With the amount of pintail there are, and I learned that us, humans, we've destroyed a lot of their habitat, and so it's like, I mean, that's terrifying, the amount of things that we've done to ruin habitats and watching the extinction of animals. Um, I think we're a little whiles away from that happening to pintail, but just kind of watching that, that's a little scary. We have the hooded merganser. I think I've seen a couple of those. None of my buddies have shot one here, or they probably have, but not the seasons I've hunted with them. We got the American widgeon, uh, blue wing teal. There's blue wing teal everywhere. Honestly, a lot of those smaller ponds, that's where they are always at, and they taste like pond water. Uh, we have canvasback. I have not seen one of those. Wood duck. One of my buddies, his cousin got one, and one of the dudes, when we went hunting at the pond, he shot one, and I was so jealous. Like, that's a duck on my bucket list for sure, but I'm sure that's also on a lot of people's. A redhead. I'd like to do. I mean, I've never seen one either, but I would love to have a redhead. Um, we have a lesser scalp and a golden eye. So I actually last year, I saw my first golden eye, and I thought, because it was quite a ways away, I could see its green head, and it had like a weirder body, but I was like, and so the body has like white on it. So I was like, is that a like an albino mallard? It was I had no idea, but my buddy's like, "Oh no, that's a golden eye," and he had a bunch of golden eye decoys too. So, but it was cool to see that. I got close enough where I probably could have shot, but I was waiting for my buddy to get up because we were sitting there. We weren't getting really many ducks, and so I wanted him to get a shot at some too. But I think he stepped on a twig or something and it cracked, and there they went. I tried shooting, not even close. Um, but we also have the green wing teal. So I part of that YouTube video I had been watching, um green wing teal went up a lot in their population. So I mean, the odds of getting a green wing this year I think are pretty high. So I'm excited about that. Um, so there is an early teal season, and that starts September 14th through the 22nd. My birthday is on the 22nd. So, just so you guys know. But your bag limit is 6 teal, blue winged, green winged, and cinnamon. And your possession limit is 18. I don't know if I'm going to do that yet, just because I think I'm a little ways away. It's not impossible to do. We'll see. Like I said, I want to do as much duck as I can, so there's a high possibility that I might. Um, but yeah, the season is October 5th. That break is December 1st through the 25th, or the 24th, I guess. But and then it goes from Christmas Day to January 31st, and I mean, I got nothing better to do on Christmas. I mean, I guess I might be out with my family again. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe I'll take that vacation and just do a big duck hunt. I don't know. Um, but I mean, this is like I said, I have been waiting for this brochure to come out just so I can prepare myself, start planning like my 3 day offs, where I'm gonna go and a lot of stuff like that. I definitely so within the 2 years that I have duck hunted, um, the spots that I go to are all the same, right? So it's not like I've really been anywhere like different, I guess. So this year I definitely want to go around the state a little bit more in different areas. I know for goose season, I think I want to go out east a little bit more, where it's more like, like more plains than it is like mountains and like cities. I want to go out like farther out there to like maybe a farm or something and ask them if I can hunt their land, stuff like that. We'll see what happens. But there's a lot of plans, and I still have, quite a ways to go. Today is August 28th, so I still have some time. But I am going to talk with my buddies and try and figure out where we want to go. What are our plans? Like, there's a whole lot to plan for duck season, and it's a pretty lengthy season too. So there's so much we could do within that season. Like, beginning half we're here, middle half we're here, end half we're over here. Like, there's a lot to plan. And so, all right, next thing I want to talk about is how I hunt when it comes to ducks. So for me, I have no problem hunting by myself, but I think it's not really boring, but it's nice to have at least another person with you, so you have somebody to talk to, and definitely some help dragging out all those decoys, because it's not like they're heavy. It's just a weight that when you're carrying it for so long to walk to your spot, it's like, ugh, it's a lot. So, I like hunting with at least somebody else. For opener on this one, I know I'm driving up by myself and staying the night up there by myself. Unless, cause so my buddy, one of my other buddies, I don't like saying names, just cause I don't know how they'd feel about that. But that's why I say buddies a lot. But anyway, one of my buddies from work, this is another one. He also got that day off, so him and I have different days off. But he got that opener day off, so I don't know if he's gonna stay up there with me or not. But if not, I'll be up there by myself scouting and then staying the night up there and setting everything out, and then he'll just come up opening day to hunt with me. So we'll see what happens. But it's a ways away, but still a lot of time to plan, and I'm okay with that because you can't. I also think I want to do a lot more scouting, because last year I didn't scout. It was just one of those things where, hey, this is a spot I know, let's just go here, right? And then we'd get there and the ducks would be on the other side of the lake, and you're like, oh, and you're trying to call them, but they're having a good time over there because they've got something to eat. So it's, I learned a lot last year. Still don't know everything, but I am excited to, do that now. Like, let's sit and plan and let's actually get our feet wet, go in, take a look. Like, let's do everything right this time. So, um, yeah, so here's a little thing I want to talk about too on what you should bring like for duck hunting. I definitely think anybody, if you go to even a garage sale, a lot of people like to get rid of their decoys for super cheap. And even if you got yourself like two or three, maybe, maybe even a dozen or even just six, who knows? But you can get, I think decoys are important. Um, can you do it without it? Maybe. I never have personally, but you can get decoys for a decent price, and I don't believe that your decoys have to look like super 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 real, right? But get some cheap decoys because they're in the water, right? And you could even tie like a jerk rig to it or something so that you have your, some motion. On the off seasons, definitely practice your duck calling. You want to be able to get good and believable because if you don't have that quote unquote realistic duck, um, not that it changes anything, but if these ducks are flying and they can't see your spread right off the bat and you start calling and it sounds good, they're looking for it, right? So I think your duck calling is very important. So a duck call is very important. So right now we're down, decoys, duck call, um, you know, your 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 little like like your a layout blind. I don't think you need a layout blind, but some type of coverage, because you got to think ducks see from an aerial view. Like if you're not hidden well, they will see you. And I know you can go to Walmart and you can get some little fake like marsh stuff, read it, like just stuff like that, camouflage. You can get at Walmart for pretty cheap. But you want to make it look as real as possible, like where you're hiding. For example, last year on my goose hunt, I had my layout blind and it snowed a lot. So, and it was still snowing when I got there, right? So, like the entire ground is white and there's my camo layout blind, okay? That's not believable. That's probably why I didn't get any ducks, right? So, that's something to think about too. Like, what is the terrain? What does the habitat look like now? Stuff like that. That's why it's important to scout because where I live and where I hunt, it was super cold, but there really wasn't snow on the ground. And where I went hunting, it was covered in snow. So I just think it's important to to really excuse me, it's really important to see what habitat that you're going to be hunting and then preparing for that. So, with that being said, yeah, like plan it out. You definitely need some good camo. You definitely need to view the habitat. Like, that's important. So you got your decoys, your duck calls, your blind, and then what else do I think is important? Obviously your shotgun. Um you you uh you definitely want something that is like a pump, because you want to have more opportunity to shoot instead of like I had my very first time was a break action single shot, right? So you want something with, multiple shots. And as you go, you're going to start learning like when to shoot or how far your gun shoots, like those are very important. Another thing, snacks. Bring snacks because there will be moments when I'm in the blind and I am just hungry, nothing's flying. I'm just sitting there like drinks and snacks are very important, I think. You don't oh, and make sure you clean up after yourself too. Come on. That I've seen a lot of trash laying around at spots where people hunt. That's not okay. So really make sure you pick up your trash. Um, But yeah, snacks is important. Your blind's important. Decoys, I think, are pretty important. You don't have to get like a mojo or anything like that. Like motion's good. So like I said, with like a jerk string, I think that'd do. I think that'd be perfect. I don't have a jerk string, so like my ducks, that my decoys would just be sitting in the water. So it's not bad, right? But it is something that it works with motion. um but yeah, and then when you get your ducks, have somewhere to store them. Like, how are you going to transport them? Are you just going to let them sit in the bed of the truck? I like to put mine in like little Walmart bags, just so that way they're not getting dirty. Um so like I like to do Walmart bags, and I normally keep them in the truck with me. So there's that. Yeah, I just, like I said, I think it's very important to have somewhere to store your birds. Another thing too, really plan out your hunt, because once you know, once you shoot your duck and you store it, like, make sure you have time to prep them, like defeathering, or taking the breast out, somewhere to dispose of your duck. Like, all that's important too. So, yeah, and then you can watch videos, because that's what I did. I didn't know how to, feather a duck and cut it open, where to cut it, stuff. I didn't know any of that. So, like I said, I think that's important. Like, YouTube will be your best friend, and I will happily show people how to do it, how I learned. You want to have a good knife. That's good to have. So, like out here, if once you kill your duck, if you want to harvest it there and like cut it open, you have to make sure you still have a wing attached, and it's like gotta still be feathered and a bunch of other stuff. So for me, I just will travel with them after they're shot, do all that at home, right? Because I mean, I've never seen anybody do it where they're at, I guess. um but yeah, I mean, make sure, like, for me, I'm gonna have my own little hunting set for that specifically. So, yeah, a good knife set for that is amazing. Um yeah, I mean, so like I said, guys, I'm excited about this season coming up. I know I still have a ways to go, but I have to share my excitement with somebody, you know? And as I have things planned out, I will keep everybody informed. I think hopefully by the time you're listening to this episode, I have my Facebook page, my Instagram page, and even the YouTube up by the time you're listening to this. So if I do, everything's gonna be under Game Trail Pursuits. And you'll be able to find links to the podcast or little short bits in the podcast. This is the third episode, and yeah, it's been fun talking about this. I've been, like I told you guys, very excited. I cannot wait for the day where I'm going to sleep, ready to shoot some ducks. um, so yeah, like, I really appreciate every single one of you. I'm happy you stuck around to the end of this video. And I'm very thankful that I have this opportunity right now, and I genuinely love how serious I've taken this, because I feel like I have something to offer, and I feel like being able to talk to all of you gives me, satisfaction, and the know that I can do this. So I do want to say thank you to everyone who's listened. Um, you are appreciated, and I really look forward to seeing you in the next episode. I'm hoping to have a guest sooner or later. Another thing too, I have an intro coming soon, and You guys will be the first to see it. I haven't seen it. I have no idea what, what it's music, sorry. The intro music. So I have no idea what it sounds like. Like I am so excited for that too. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Game Trail Pursuits. My name is Joshua Likens and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.